Ethan Cole stood in front of the old house and felt a strange silence around him. The house was cheap. Too cheap. That was the first reason he bought it. It stood alone at the edge of a small town, far from neighbors, far from noise. The paint was peeling. The windows were dusty. The wooden door looked tired, like it had not been opened for years. People in town had warned him. No one stays there for long. An old shopkeeper said. Bad place. Another man whispered. Strange sounds at night. A woman added. Ethan did not believe in stories. He believed in hard work and second chances. After losing his job and his apartment, this house felt like a new start. He unlocked the door and stepped inside. The air was cold. Too cold. Dust floated in the weak light coming through broken windows. The floor creaked under his boots. Every sound felt louder in the empty house. It's just an old place, Ethan said to himself. He walked through the rooms slowly. A small kitchen. A dark living room. Stairs leading up, and a narrow door leading down to the basement. Something about the basement made him pause. The door was heavier than it looked. The handle was cold, like metal left in snow. When he opened it, a deep smell rose from below. Old earth, rust, something else he could not name. He turned on his flashlight and looked down the stairs. Nothing moved. Ethan shook his head and closed the door. Later, he said. By evening, he was tired but satisfied. The house was rough, but it was his. He placed his mattress in the living room, near the window. Outside, the wind moved the dead trees slowly. Night came quickly. At first, everything was quiet. Too quiet. Ethan lay on his mattress, staring at the ceiling. The house made small sounds, like all old houses do. Wood popping. Wind pushing against walls. Then he felt it. A light vibration. It came from the floor beneath him. Ethan sat up. He pressed his hand to the wooden floor. The vibration stopped. Pipes, he muttered. He lay back down. Minutes passed. Maybe more. His eyes started to close. Then the vibration came again, stronger this time. The floor made a low humming sound, deep and slow, like something breathing beneath the house. Ethan's heart beat faster. He stood up and turned on the light. The sound stopped immediately. Silence returned. This place is really getting to me, he said, trying to laugh. At exactly 2:17 a.m., Ethan woke up suddenly. He did not know why. The light was off. The room was dark. The air felt heavy, pressing on his chest. Then he heard it. A soft scrape. Not above him, below him. The floor moved. Not much. Just enough for him to notice. Just enough to make his blood feel cold. Ethan stood frozen. He listened. A whisper followed. It was not clear. Not words he could understand. It sounded layered, like more than one voice speaking at the same time. Ethan backed away slowly. No, he whispered. No way. The sound faded. The floor became still again. Morning came, but Ethan did not sleep. When sunlight filled the room, he checked the floor carefully. No cracks, no holes. Nothing broken. Still, he felt watched. Later that day, Ethan went into town to buy supplies. People looked at him strangely when he said where he lived. You stayed the night? A young man asked. Ethan nodded. The man went quiet. That night, Ethan locked every door and window. He sat in the living room, holding a flashlight. Midnight passed. Then 1. Then 2. At 2:17 a.m., the humming returned. This time, it did not stop. The floor vibrated gently, like a machine starting up far below. A faint blue light slipped through the cracks in the wood, so weak it almost looked like a trick of the eyes. Ethan stepped back, his mouth dry. Beneath the house, deep underground, 3 pairs of glowing eyes watched him. They did not move, They did not speak. They waited. Ethan did not know it yet. But buying this abandoned house was the most important mistake of his life. Morning did not make Ethan feel safe. The sunlight touched the walls, but the cold feeling stayed inside the house. Ethan stood in the living room, looking at the floor where the blue light had appeared the night before. There were no marks. No cracks. No signs that anything was wrong. Yet Ethan knew something was hidden there. He drank water, trying to calm his shaking hands. "I didn't imagine it," he said softly. Saying it out loud helped him breathe. All day, the house felt different. The air felt heavy, like it was waiting. Even the sounds were strange. When Ethan walked, the floor creaked in places it did not creak before. By evening, his decision was clear. He had to check the basement. The basement door stood at the end of a narrow hallway. It looked normal, but Ethan noticed something new. Dust covered most of the floor, yet near the door, the dust was disturbed, like something had moved recently. Ethan swallowed hard and opened the door. The stairs were darker than before. His flashlight flickered as he stepped down. The smell returned, stronger now. Old metal. Cold stone. Something sharp. The basement was small. Stone walls. A low ceiling. Broken shelves. Then he saw a dot at the far wall. Behind old wooden boards, there was something that did not belong. Metal. Smooth. Dark. Cold. Ethan pulled the boards away. His heart began to pound faster with every movement. Behind them was a metal door. Not a human door. It had no handle. No lock. Strange lines covered its surface, forming symbols that hurt his eyes if he stared too long. When Ethan moved his flashlight across it, the symbols glowed faint blue. The same blue light. Ethan stepped back. "What are you?" he whispered. The metal door made a soft sound in response, like a deep breath. Suddenly, the light went dark. The basement fell silent. Ethan ran up the stairs and slammed the door shut. He leaned against the wall, breathing hard. "This is not real," he told himself. "It can't be." But deep beneath the house, reality was very real. Far below the basement, under thick layers of stone and earth, 3 beings stood in a hidden chamber. They looked almost human. Almost. Their skin shimmered softly, like light under water. Their eyes were large and glowing, filled with fear. Thin. Markings ran along their arms and necks, moving slowly like living lines. They were watching Ethan through a hidden screen made of light. "The human has discovered the outer seal," said the first one. Her voice was soft but tense. "He should not be here," said the second. "This world is dangerous." The third one was silent. She was injured. A dark wound glowed weakly on her side. "They hunt us," the injured one finally said. "If he alerts others, we will not survive." They remembered the crash. Years ago, their research ship fell from the sky, breaking apart as it entered Earth's atmosphere. They were not soldiers. They were observers. Scientists sent to study a young species called humans. Their ship buried itself deep underground. Most of their crew did not survive. They learned quickly. Humans feared what they did not understand. And humans destroyed what they feared. Above ground, Ethan could not stop thinking about the door. That night, he did not sleep. He sat on a chair, facing the basement hallway. At 2:17 a.m., the sound returned. But this time, it was different. It sounded like pain. A low, broken hum echoed through the floor. The walls vibrated softly. Ethan felt it in his chest, like a slow heartbeat. He stood up. Against his better judgment, he walked toward the basement door. "Hello?" he called out, his voice shaking. The sound stopped. Then something new happened. A faint voice answered. It was weak, broken, not human. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. "I'm not here to hurt anyone," he said slowly. Silence followed. Deep underground, The three beings froze. "He speaks," said the second one. "Humans lie," said the first. The injured one closed her eyes, but he did not attack. Above them, Ethan placed his hand on the basement door. The wood felt warm now, not cold. "Whatever you are," he said, "you're hurt, aren't you?" The floor vibrated once. A response. Ethan stepped back, fear and curiosity fighting inside him. He did not know it yet, but this moment would change the fate of two worlds. And beneath the abandoned house, three alien girls made a silent decision. If the human opened the door, everything would change. The next day felt longer than it should. Ethan moved through the house slowly, like someone walking through deep water. Every sound made him stop. Every shadow felt alive. The basement door stayed closed, but Ethan could feel it. Something beneath the house was awake. He tried to distract himself by cleaning. He pushed old furniture aside and cleared broken wood from the living room. The floor there looked weak, older than the rest. Dark lines ran across the boards like scars. As Ethan lifted a heavy table, the floor made a sharp cracking sound. He froze. Then it happened. Crack. The wood gave way under his foot. Ethan fell forward and hit the ground hard. Pain shot through his shoulder. Dust filled the air. Beneath the broken boards, a deep hole opened, wide enough to see darkness below. And light, a soft blue glow, rose from the hole, pulsing slowly. Ethan pushed himself up, his heart racing. He looked down through the broken floor. Something moved. A shape stepped into the light. Ethan's breath stopped. It was a girl. At least she looked like one. She was not human. Her skin glowed faintly, like moonlight on water. Her hair floated slightly, even though there was no wind. Her eyes were large and bright, filled with shock and fear. She stumbled forward and fell. A sharp cry echoed up through the hole. Ethan did not think. He grabbed a rope from his tools and tied it to a heavy beam. His hands shook as he lowered himself into the hole. The air below was colder. The walls were smooth stone mixed with metal. Strange lights lined the tunnel. The alien girl lay on the ground, holding her side. Dark blue blood leaked between her fingers, glowing softly. Ethan swallowed hard. Everything inside him screamed to run. Instead, he stepped closer. I won't hurt you," he said slowly. The girl tried to crawl away, but cried out in pain. She was weak, very weak. From the shadows behind her, two more figures appeared. They looked just like her. They stared at Ethan with fear and readiness. They were ready to die if needed. Ethan raised his empty hands. "I'm human," he said, "but I don't want to hurt you." The two girls did not move. The injured one looked up at him. Her eyes searched his face, like she was looking for something. Truth. Ethan slowly took off his jacket and tore a clean strip from his shirt. He knelt down and gently pressed it against her wound. The blue blood soaked into the cloth. The girl gasped, but she did not scream. The other two watched closely, tense like animals waiting for a trap. Ethan worked carefully, using what he knew from basic first aid. He wrapped the wound as best as he could. "There," he whispered. "That's all I can do." For a long moment, no one moved. Then the injured girl spoke. Her voice was weak, but clear. "You did not kill." Ethan nodded. "I don't kill people who are hurt." The two standing girls exchanged looks. "He is different," one of them said quietly. "No," the other replied. "He is still human." A sudden sound cut through the tunnel. A sharp mechanical beep. The walls lit up red for 1 second. The alien girls froze. "Hunters," one whispered. Ethan looked around. "What hunters?" "They search," the injured one said. "They erase." Above them, far away, a faint buzzing sound passed over the house. Like something scanning, Ethan felt fear twist in his chest. "Are they human?" No, the second alien said. Worse. The lights dimmed again. The sound faded. For now, the injured girl tried to stand, but fell back. Ethan caught her before she hit the ground. Her skin was warm. She looked at him, truly looked at him, and her voice shook. You should not help us. Ethan held her steady. Too late. For the first time, something changed in her eyes. Not fear. Not anger. Hope. Far above the house. Unseen machines adjusted their path, and beneath the broken floor, a simple human choice had started a chain of events that could never be undone. Ethan helped the injured girl sit against the wall. His hands were steady now, but his heart was not. Everything felt unreal, like he had stepped into a story that was never meant for humans. The two standing alien girls moved closer to their injured friend. One of them placed her hand on the glowing wound. Soft light spread from her fingers, slowing the flow of blue blood. She will live, she said. But she is weak. Ethan let out a breath he did not know he was holding. My name is Ethan, he said gently. What are yours? The aliens looked at each other again. After a short pause, the one with darker markings spoke. I am Lara, she said. The second one nodded. Kale, the injured girl whispered. Nysa. Ethan repeated their names quietly, trying to show respect. Above them, the house made a sharp sound, a heavy step, and another. Ethan's head snapped up. Someone's outside. Lyra's eyes widened. Not someone. The walls began to hum softly. Thin lines of light appeared, running through the metal like veins. They are scanning, Kale said. They felt our signal. Ethan frowned. What signal? When you broke the floor, Lyra answered. Our systems woke up. A loud thud shook the house above. Dust fell from the ceiling. Ethan felt fear like ice in his stomach. Who are they? Nysa looked at him, her voice low. They are collectors. They follow us across worlds. They erase what they cannot control. Another thud. Closer this time. Ethan stood up. Are they aliens too? Yes, Kale said. They wear human shapes when needed. That made Ethan's blood run. Cold. A voice suddenly echoed from above. This area is restricted. Come out now. The voice sounded human, too. Human. Ethan clenched his fists. That's not how humans talk. Lyra nodded. Because they are not. The humming grew louder. The lights shifted from blue to red. They will find us, Kale said. And you? Ethan looked at the hole in the floor, then at the tunnel around them. His mind raced. He was not a soldier. He had no weapons. But he had lived on Earth his whole life, and humans survived by thinking fast. Is there another way out? He asked. Lyra hesitated. Old tunnels. From the crash. Not stable. Good, Ethan said. Unstable means unexpected. Another loud crash. Wood splintered above. Ethan moved quickly. Can you hide your lights? Kale touched the wall. The glowing lines dimmed until the tunnel fell into near darkness. Ethan grabbed a metal bar from the ground and wedged it under the broken floorboards. Then he pulled loose boards and debris over the hole. Above them, Boots walked across the living room. Heavy, slow, searching. A beam of white light cut through the cracks. Ethan held his breath. The voice spoke again, closer now. We detected energy. Come out. Nysa squeezed Ethan's arm. Her grip was weak but firm. If they take us, she whispered, they will study us until nothing remains. Ethan's jaw tightened. Not happening. The beam moved away, then stopped. A sharp metallic sound followed. They are drilling, Kale said. Ethan looked at the tunnel. Show me the old path. Lyra hesitated only a second, then nodded. She led them deeper underground. The tunnel grew narrower, rougher. The air smelled old and dry. Behind them, a loud whine cut through the earth. They were coming through the floor. The tunnel shook. Small rocks fell. Nysa cried out as Ethan lifted her into his arms. "Hold on," he said. They reached a split in the tunnel. One path glowed faintly. The other was dark. "The dark one," Ethan said without thinking. "Why?" Cale asked. "Because hunters expect light." They turned into the dark tunnel. Behind them, something screamed. Not human. Not alive. Metal scraping stone. Ethan ran, his muscles burning. The tunnel ended at a narrow opening covered by old metal plates. Ethan pushed. Nothing. The ground shook violently. Lyra screamed. "They are here." Ethan slammed his shoulder into the plates. Pain exploded through his arm, but the metal bent. Light burst in, fresh air. Ethan fell forward into a hidden cave outside the house, covered by trees and rocks. He crawled out, dragging Nysa with him. Cale and Lyra followed. Behind them, the tunnel collapsed. The screaming stopped. Silence returned. Ethan lay on the cold ground, breathing hard. Above them, the abandoned house stood quiet again, like nothing had happened. Cale looked at Ethan with wide eyes. "You protected us." Ethan stared at the sky. "I guess that makes us a team now." Far away, unseen by all of them, the hunters adjusted their search. They had not failed. They had only learned. They did not return to the house. Ethan led them through the forest until the abandoned land ended and old hills began. There was a small storm shelter there, half buried and forgotten, built decades ago. The metal door was rusted, but it opened. Inside, it was dark and cold. Safe for now. Ethan gently laid Nysa on an old bench. Her breathing was slow, but steady. The blue glow around her wound was weaker than before. "She needs rest," Lyra said. Ethan nodded. "Should get it." Cale looked around the shelter, touching the walls, the old tools, the empty shelves. "This place has no technology." "Humans lived like this for a long time," Ethan replied. "We still do when we have to." Cale tilted her head. "How did your kind survive?" Ethan sat down, tired. "We adapt." Silence followed. Then Lyra spoke softly. "Before we came here, we studied humans." Ethan looked up. "What did you learn?" Lyra's eyes dimmed slightly. "We believed your species was unstable, violent, easy to control." Cale added, "You fight each other. You damage your own world." Ethan did not argue. "That's not wrong. But," Nysa whispered, opening her eyes, "you do not give up." Ethan smiled faintly. "No, we don't." Lyra explained more. Their mission was to observe Earth, not to interfere. But when the collectors found their ship, everything changed. They hid underground, surviving on low power, afraid to send any signal. "And then you arrived," Cale said. "A single human." Ethan laughed quietly. "Trust me, I'm nothing special." Lyra looked at him carefully. "You are." Outside, a low sound rolled across the sky. Not thunder. Machines. Cale stiffened. "They are searching wider now." Ethan stood up. "Then we stopped being easy to find." He walked outside and scanned the area. The forest was old. Uneven ground. Animal paths. Fallen trees. "This land hides things," he said. "That's why people leave it alone." He returned with an armful of scrap metal, broken glass, and old wires from the shelter. Cale watched in confusion. "What are you doing?" "Lying," Ethan said. He placed the metal in shallow holes, spreading it out. Glass was buried just under the soil. He twisted the wires around trees and rocks. "Your hunters use scanners," he said. "Scanners get confused." Cale's eyes widened. "Primitive interference." Ethan grinned. Primitive works. The sky above flickered briefly as a scanning wave passed. Nothing happened. No alarms. No lights. They missed us, Lyra whispered. Ethan leaned against a tree, breathing hard. Told you. Cale looked at him differently now. You fight without weapons. Most of the time, Ethan replied. That night, they took turns resting. Ethan stayed awake, listening to the forest. Nice's color improved slightly. You saved us, she said softly. Ethan shook his head. I just did what felt right. That is why you are dangerous, Lyra said. Ethan frowned. Dangerous? To the collectors, she explained. They believe strength comes from power, from control. She looked at him. Humans fight with choice. Far above Earth, hidden beyond sight. A signal reached an ancient network. Species. Human status. Undervalued update. Aritu Yaridi. Collectors had learned something new, and they did not like it. The signal did not come from Earth. Cale was the first to feel it. She sat up suddenly, her eyes glowing brighter than before. They heard us, she said. Ethan looked up from the small fire he had made using dry wood. Who did? Our people, Lyra answered quietly. Nysa pushed herself up, weak but alert. The long-range beacon woke up when the hunter scanned again. Ethan's chest tightened. That's good, right? Rescue? Lyra nodded slowly. Yes and no. She stood and looked toward the dark sky between the trees. If they come openly, Earth will notice. If Earth notices, the collectors will return in greater numbers. Ethan stared into the fire. So either way, someone gets hurt. Cale's voice was calm but heavy. There is another option. All three alien girls looked at Ethan. Ethan frowned. I don't like that look. Our ship can still fly, Cale said. For a short time. Lyra continued. We can leave Earth before anyone arrives. Ethan felt relief then confusion. Then why do you look worried? Nysa spoke softly. Because they will blame you? Ethan went silent. They will say you helped us, Lyra said. Humans punish their own. Ethan thought of the house. The job he lost. The life he barely held together. He laughed quietly. Figures. Cale stepped closer. There is one more choice. She hesitated, then said it. You can come with us. The forest seemed to stop breathing. Ethan looked at her. You're serious? Yes, Lyra said. You protected us. You are part of this now. Images flashed in Ethan's mind. Stars, other worlds. Leaving Earth behind. His heart raced. Then he looked at the trees. The dirt under his boots. The fire he built with his own hands. This is my world, he said. Nysa's eyes filled with something close to sadness. Even when it hurts you? Ethan nodded. Especially then. The beacon's light pulsed faintly in the distance. They are close, Cale said. The ground trembled not violently, but deeply. They will take us underground to launch, Lyra said. Hidden. Ethan helped Nysa stand. Then go. Lyra placed a small device in Ethan's hand. It was smooth and warm. Protection, she said. From scanners. From hunters. Ethan closed his fingers around it. Thank you. The moment stretched. Then Nysa hugged him. Her arms were light, trembling. You showed us what humans truly are, she whispered. Ethan swallowed hard. Tell your people not all of us are bad. Lyra smiled sadly. We already know. They moved back toward the hidden tunnel entrance. The ground opened silently, revealing darkness and light below. Before stepping in, Cale turned back. One day, she said, the stars will know your kind. Then they were gone. The ground closed. The forest returned to silence. Ethan stood alone, above the planet. Far beyond human sight, three small figures escaped. into the dark carrying a new truth with them. That humans were not weak. They were dangerous in a different way. Years passed. The abandoned land was no longer abandoned. People in the nearby town spoke quietly about Ethan's house. They said it was repaired without noise, without workers. They said lights sometimes appeared at night, soft and blue, then vanished before anyone could get close. Ethan still lived there. To the world. He was just a quiet man who kept to himself. But the house was no longer empty. Deep beneath it, hidden systems slept and watched. Ethan woke every morning at the same time. He worked small jobs, fixed things, helped when asked. He never spoke about the night the floor broke. Sometimes, late at night, he would stand in the living room and place his hand on the floor. It was warm. Not alive. But aware. At exactly 2:17 a.m., the air shifted. The device Lyra had given him now, worn on a cord around his neck, glowed faintly. Ethan did not panic. He went outside. The sky was clear. Stars filled it like silent fire. A single point of light moved against them. Slow and steady, Ethan smiled. Far away, beyond Earth, a council gathered. They were old, ancient, observers of countless worlds. On a vast screen, Earth rotated slowly. A voice spoke. This planet was marked as unstable. Another answered. It should have destroyed itself. A third voice interrupted. It did not. Images appeared. Human cities rebuilt after ruin. Humans protecting those not their own. A single man standing between hunters and the hunted. The human species adapts, the voice continued. They protect even strangers. Another voice spoke. Careful now. If they reach the stars? The chamber fell silent. They will not come as conquerors. The first voice finished. They will come as survivors. Back on Earth, Ethan returned inside. He sat in his chair. The same place where fear once ruled him. Now, there was peace. The house creaked softly. Not in warning, not in comfort. Somewhere deep underground, hidden systems adjusted, shielding the land from scans, from eyes that searched too closely. Earth would not be touched. Not yet. Ethan looked out the window. One last time before sleeping. He whispered to no one. Good luck. The stars did not answer, but they watched, and they remembered. Because if humans could protect even those who fell from the sky, then one day they would rule the stars.